Today we're exploring one of the most beautiful corners of Germany. From the ruins of Auerbach Castle to the streets of Heidelberg, to its Christmas market glowing with winter lights. Castles, history, Christmas magic, and a little Riesling. Let's get into it. Ever since I was a kid, history has had a way of pulling me in. I grew up dreaming about knights and old kingdoms, imagining the clang of swords and the stories behind every stone wall. And as I got older, that love didn't fade. It expanded. The food, the drink, the traditions, all the things that make a place feel alive. So whenever I visit a place like this, it's not just sightseeing. It's stepping into the worlds I always imagined as a child. There's something special about wandering into a place that's older than the very idea of the country it sits in. And today, Arabach Castle definitely delivers. Welcome to the castle. Perched right on the edge of the Odenwald forest, along the Bergstraße, Germany's mountain road, it's been watching over this valley for nearly 800 years. And if you listen closely, it feels like its stone walls still have a few stories left to tell. Arabach Castle was built around the mid-1200s by Count Dieter IV of Katzenelnbogen, a family with a name that's as fun to say as it is hard to spell. They were wealthy, powerful, and like all medieval lords, constantly worried someone was going to march through the forests and steal their stuff. So they built this, a fortress with a perfect 360-degree view of the entire Rhine Valley. Back then, this wasn't a romantic ruin or a picnic spot, it was a military checkpoint. A way for the counts to control trade routes and show off a bit of their influence. Knights, soldiers, messengers, this place would have been buzzing. The lords who lived here were not kings or queens, more like administrative muscle of the Katzenelnbogen family. The Castellan, guards, servants, and rotating groups of knights. Arabach wasn't a royal palace, it was a working fortress. Heavy boots on stone floors, smoke from torches, blacksmith hammers, and the smell of wet horses. That kind of life.
Wonder what this used to be. It's probably some sort of statue or something, right? Or shrine type thing, but it's sandstone, so probably down on view. Yeah.
Today, the big central courtyard is wide open, and it's easy to imagine horses and people crisscrossing through here.
I want to know what all of this was. Like every time I walk through a spot like this, I always want to see what it looked like in its prime, or know what everything was used for.
The counts of the Katzenelnbogen weren't typical medieval nobles. They were innovators. They built roads, expanded vineyards, collected tolls, and turned their lands into an economic engine. Their archives show the first documented mention of the Riesling wine in 1435, making them the earliest known promoters of the iconic grape. So the same family that built the formidable fortresses like this one also shaped German wine culture forever. The earliest version of the castle was smaller, essentially a fortified hilltop residence with a tower and a ring wall. But conflict along the Bergstraße demanded more. As power struggles with neighboring lords increased, the castle grew into a full military installation. During the expansion era around 1300 to 1350, additional walls, new towers, and the large residential wing were constructed. the castle's footprint expanded dramatically. This turned Auerbach into one of the most imposing strongholds in the region. In 1356, the Basel earthquake felt across Central Europe shook the castle violently. But instead of abandoning the site, the Katzelenbogen family rebuilt and strengthened it, reflecting both their resilience and the castle's importance. Here, we got our first chance to walk inside the castle in a room, and man, this is just amazing. Like, take a look at this. There's one gate leading outside onto the walls, and then there's another locked door. So I'm not exactly sure what that would lead to, but what's most interesting about this room is this chest. I'm not sure if it's probably from the time because of how old it looks, but look at this thing. Wow. ANNC are some initials on it. Wow. Looks like something you'd see in a movie full of treasure, but now we're going to keep heading on through here. Tell Dad to watch his head.
Dad, watch your head up here.
Wow. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, wow. That is incredible. Sandstone. It looks arched window straight out. And you can see the vineyards and the town below. It's crazy how, like, I know. It's all sandstone though. As I'm sure you guys know at this point, I am a big history guy. I love anything old, and I love hearing old stories. And when I come to a place like this, I can't help but think what life was like. Not only for the counts who ruled over the area, but for the simple men, the blacksmiths, and the soldiers. If I'm being honest, I think I like this sort of thing a little too much. I could spend hours staring at this from afar and not even saying a word. And I hope you guys enjoy it just as much as I do. As I got to the top of the castle, something caught my eye. This tree growing on the castle ramparts really took my breath away. Whether it was planted here or just grew here by accident, it is such an interesting sight. And even with the tower I've been waiting for right in the distance, I couldn't help but stop and stare for just a little while. Now it's time for something that I've always dreamed of since I was a kid. Climbing up an old castle tower. If you come and visit here, make sure to take your camera up the spiral staircase. It's worth it. The view from the top is stunning. You've got vineyards rolling into the distance, little towns tucked into the hills, and on a clear day, you can see all the way across the Rhine. And of course, don't forget to breathe. This is what medieval real estate agents would have called a million golden view. Here is where the lookouts would have stood, keeping watch over the valley and ready at any moment to warn the surrounding villages and fortresses. In a stronghold like this, a well is necessary, during long sieges and for day-to-day use. You can imagine they would need a lot of water for the horses and for the men.
Well, you can't even really. I guess you can see the bottom.
Just see the bottom of it. There's a white kind of rock.
Wow.
I bet you they got a lot of these rock chippings from digging that.
Unfortunately, the part of the castle I was most excited about, the main old tower, was closed due to vandalism. Castles like these were built with real sweat and real sacrifice. Generations lived here and died here. So seeing parts closed because of vandalism is heartbreaking. These places survived centuries and wars, but they can't survive carelessness. If you come for a visit, please be mindful of all the work that went into building this. And it's not worth tearing down just to have your initials carved in stone. There is something peaceful about Auerbach. Stone walls, birds, wind. It's the kind of place that makes you want to slow down and just enjoy the sight of time passing. And now that we've soaked in a little history, let's head downhill and taste the reason this region has been famous since the Roman times. The Bergstraße region is one of Germany's oldest wine areas. Old, as in Roman soldiers were planting vines here in the 2nd or 3rd century. They knew good land when they saw it. Gentle slopes, warm climates, long sunshine hours. This is one of Germany's warmest pockets. Today, the area is known for fresh, aromatic whites, Riesling, Sylvaner, and Gewürztraminer. That one's a little hard for me to pronounce. And some surprisingly good reds, thanks to its volcanic soil. Walking into a tasting room here feels less like business and more like being welcomed into someone's home. Take your time, try a few glasses, maybe chat with the winemaker. The people along Bergstraße have been making wine for centuries, and they love sharing it.
Trying a local, what they call a red Riesling. So everything's grown on these slopes that we drove by here, all the way down to, I think, to Heppenheim or Weinheim.
Really good.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know anything about wine, but
Me either.
tastes good. So.
We'll pretend we're experts. Let me see. Nice color. It's
Like those guys on the thing. This
Yeah.
wine is fruity. This wine is light.
it's not jammy. It's sweet but not jammy. It's grown on a southern slope and right here in the neighborhood. That's my guess.
So this one is out of used barrique barrels.
What kind of barrel?
Used ones.
Used.
Oak, the barrique. There was a really good year in Germany for red wine.
We've had a red Riesling and a Pinot Noir.
And yeah, due to the high amount of sugar and acid, you can age them for dozens of years.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It looks thicker than normal wine.
Yeah, a bit oily due to the high sugar content. Yeah, we have the opportunity to taste the 2006 Trocken Beerenauslese means that you press dry berries.
Oh, wow.
That's dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
So dark, and you see.
And it's so different compared to ice
Amazing.
wine.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's really, really good.
Yeah. I don't know the sugar content, but yeah. And this is very special, and we have a lot of old wines in our archive.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
You said 2006? That
And this is a lot of work to select the berries, and yeah, the result are only a few liters.
really.
So therefore, you have a high price for the dry berry selection or Trockenbeerenauslese.
Dan, you were 2 years old when this was made.
Wow. It's almost as old as I am.
I've got a few bottles of the old vineyard left. 1296. Very good year. Almost as old as I am.
So rare opportunity to taste these wines for me as well. Okay, yeah, and this is in the wine world. It's hard to find.
Yeah.
I think it's exclusively produced in Germany.
You can picture like exactly when you'd have something like that, you know? Imagine having a couple guys around and having like a deep discussion, you know?
And a nice
Like-
fire.
It'd have to be like darkly lit too. Around like Thanksgiving or Christmas. That's when you'd whip that bottle out.
Yeah.
So we bought a couple of bottles of wine. Of the 3 we tasted, we got 2 of the first 2 and then one of the darker ones that my mom liked. And we're just going to give most of these as a gift to my Aunt Christy and Uncle Waldemar, just as a thank you to them for letting us stay at their apartment and making our time here in Germany cozy. But then also this vineyard is one of their favorites. So,
After a couple sips of this area's famous wine, it's time to jump to one of the most famous towns in Germany. Heidelberg is one of those towns that feel like an old storybook before you even get your camera out. Cobblestone streets, old timber houses, and layered history everywhere you look. Founded over 800 years ago, this city survived wars, fires, and political chaos, but somehow kept its charm. Even today, it feels youthful thanks to the university, Germany's oldest, founded in 1386. Our plan here is to enjoy the Christmas market with our family. But before they arrive, we have a little time to explore what interests me most: the history and the architecture. The Christmas market here isn't just in one square, it's in many, and you can walk all through the town, visiting each section. But I think we're going to save that for a later time when the rest of our family arrives. For now, we're just going to walk the streets and explore. It isn't hard to find interesting architecture here, as you saw by the Schloss Heidelberg looming over the city. As we walked further down the streets, we came across this interesting hotel. I'll have to do more research on why it is so ornately designed compared to the buildings surrounding it. And right next to it is a building that instantly caught my eye. In the heart of Heidelberg's Old Town, rising above the red rooftops and the cobblestone streets, stands the Heiliggeistkirche, the Church of the Holy Spirit. For over 6 centuries, this tower has watched over the city's triumphs, tragedies, fires, and wars. Construction began in the early 1400s during a time when Heidelberg was growing into a center of knowledge and power. By 1441, the nave was complete, and in 1544, the iconic tower took shape, later crowned with a Baroque dome we see today. The church became a symbol of Heidelberg's shifting religious history. For centuries, Catholics and Protestants shared the same sanctuary, sometimes literally dividing the building with a wall. It wasn't until 1936 that the last barrier inside was finally removed. This cathedral was once home to Europe's greatest treasure, known as the Bibliotheca Palatina. Thousands of priceless manuscripts were stored high in the gallery. After the 30 Years' War, most of the collection was taken to Rome, where it still remains. Today, the Church of the Holy Spirit is a place where history, faith, and everyday rhythm of life meet. From its stained glass glow to the bustling market outside its doors, this church is much more than a landmark. It's the living heart of Heidelberg.
oh my.
Just a few steps away from the last cathedral, which I'm not going to try and pronounce again, the streets of Heidelberg leads us to another gem, the Jesuit Church. If the Church of the Holy Spirit tells the story of a city shaped by centuries of shifting faiths and scholarship, this one tells a story of a very deliberate vision, the Counter-Reformation in action. Built in the late 1600s by the Jesuit order, this church was designed not just as a place of worship, but as a statement. Its soaring white columns and elegantly painted ceilings were meant to inspire awe and reflect the power and artistry of the Catholic Church at that time. Step inside and it's almost like entering a different world. The calm light through the tall windows, the ornate altar, the delicate Baroque details. It's quiet, but every element is designed to draw your eye upward, toward reflection and wonder. Unlike the last cathedral, which has a layered, sometimes chaotic history of religious division, the Jesuit Kirche represents a single vision, executed with precision and care. And yet, it's not just a relic of the past. Today, locals still gather here for services, concerts, and quiet moments of reflection, connecting the centuries of history with the life of the city today. Walking from one church to the other, you really feel Heidelberg's soul, a city built on faith, learning, art, and community, all visible in stone, light, and space. With a little more time before the family arrives, we decide to enjoy one of Germany's most iconic holiday traditions, Feuersängenbowle. The recipe includes warm spices and red wine, but what makes it truly unique is the preparation.
Different. It's a type of mulled wine. Tastes very good. Warm. The nice thing is I'm warming up. They've got a beautiful heater here and a nice warm drink. Cozy.
A sugar cone is soaked in strong rum, carefully placed above the pot and then lit. As the sugar burns, it melts and caramelizes, slowly dripping into the wine below. The result is less about the drink itself and more about the shared experience. For generations in Germany, this ritual has brought families and friends together during the winter season. Now, whether someone chooses to enjoy a beverage like this or prefers not to, the beauty of the tradition isn't found in the ingredients, but in what it represents. Community, warmth, storytelling, and celebrating the season together. Standing there in Heidelberg, watching the flames dance and everyone smiling around the pot. And that's what we'll remember the most.
You guys having fun?
Oh my word, it's so fun.
I did.
Hi guys. What's up? Wow, this place is huge. It goes quite a way out.
Have you seen any rides?
Yeah, there's one Ferris wheel down that way.
Ferris wheel?
Yeah.
No way. I haven't been in a Ferris wheel in a long
Are
time.
those called Ferris wheels or carousel?
Carousel.
Carousel.
Oh, I thought it was a carousel.
No,
Oh, a carousel.
like with the
Oh,
horses.
okay.
Yeah.
I know. It's fun still. It's still fun.
And now we get to the cozy part. Heidelberg's Christmas market is like stepping into a postcard. It stretches across several squares, each one with its own tone. There's the food area, the crafts section, the children's area, and of course the Glühwein stands where everyone becomes best friends. German Christmas markets date back to the 1400s. Originally winter fairs where people bought supplies before the cold months. Over time they turned into something warmer, celebrations of light during the darkest season. Heidelberg's market mixes old traditions with a modern, friendly vibe. Roasted chestnuts, handmade ornaments, candles, spices, everything smells like cinnamon and nostalgia.
Thank you.
These are good.
I want to get this. So cool. Has my name carved into it.
Derek, toot toot. That's so cool.
Probably have 3 of those a night. How'd you get one? Do you want one?
That mustard is like.
Corn dogs! First time ever.
So you've never had a corn dog?
Never. That's not like a normal thing in Germany, honestly. So yeah, I have no clue what to expect. Oh my goodness. Just like
Yum.
it was gonna be like boiling hot, but okay. Good?
They've never had a corn dog before.
Really? No way. I wonder if they're like the American ones or if they're all healthy too.
Alright, you hold it. What? I should hold it? Okay. How's that? Vomit-inducing. What'd you say? Vomit-inducing. Vomit-inducing. Kylie. Oh, vomit-inducing. Bro, we're spitting like a saucer. See, I couldn't get off the seat. Like.
Maybe you meet up with your family, wander between the stalls together, try some sausage or sweet crepe, and just take in the glow. These are moments that make travel feel less like a checklist and more like living inside a memory. And after a long day of castles, wine, ancient streets, and Christmas lights, nothing ends it better than sitting down with family, sharing food, laughing, swapping stories about the day. It's the kind of moment that doesn't need a narrator, just people, warmth, and good company. Thanks for coming along with me today, through history, through vineyards, and through one of Germany's most beautiful towns. If you enjoyed this video, stick around. There's so much more to explore. As always, a special thank you to those of you who have subscribed to my Patreon channel. Your support means a lot, and it helps me to be able to keep doing what I love doing and bringing you guys new content each week. Until next time, cheers.